Hey guys. So today I just went to the cleaners to pick up Axel's blanket for him. He had his little spa day yesterday, so that kind of took up the whole evening. We ended up I ended up not doing any videos last night because I'm trying to deal with that stupid strap. I didn't film any videos last night because we started his bath at like 8:30, and if we start it that late, like the whole night is done because, you know, if y'all know, like you give your dogs a bath, it takes like hours, and especially drying him and making sure that he's dry and everything. When he was a puppy, I remember we took him swimming, and he was he wasn't a puppy, he was almost a year old, but we took him swimming and we brought him home and gave him a bath, and he was super duper tired. So I ended up not drying his face properly because I was like, it was summertime. I'm like, he can go and hang out outside. And he was about 60% dry, but his face was not dried properly. And with some dogs, not saying this happens to every dog, but the way that our vet explained it was that some dogs, when the moisture sits on their skin, it can cause an issue where it's not really an infection, but it's like this scaly kind of stuff forms on the skin. It's almost like a fungus, and he had a small spot of that, and it looked much worse than it was. He wasn't itching it. It wasn't, it wasn't causing him discomfort when we would touch it. But we ended up having to like scrape away the hair because the skin was damaged, which was causing the hair to fall out. It was a whole mess, but it was this one spot, and it took like over a month to heal. So now, needless to say, we are extra careful when it comes to making sure that he's dry properly, and just very diligent about that now. I was before too, but I don't know, like growing up, we would take my dogs swimming, and they'd hang out on the deck and, dry in the sun or run around the backyard. It was never this big to do to, make sure that your dog was 100% dry after swimming. So either way, that was just kind of like one of the things that we learned. I just felt terrible. I felt bad for the little guy because we had to, like I said, we had to get the scabs that were forming off of there, and then make sure that it was clean, and there was like this ointment that we had to put on there, and I think they gave us an antibiotic for 7 days too. I don't remember. It might have been the cream might have been an antibiotic. I don't remember exactly, but I remember feeling terrible and following that, making sure that he's like not just 100% dry, but like 110% dry. But I grabbed his blanket. That blanket was $33 to clean. That's expensive. I know they have those like home dry cleaning kits. I've actually used those before for my, I've done it for like shirts and like pants, but I don't know how it would work with a blanket. That blanket is pretty big, so I don't know and I don't know if it would like clean it properly. It is so crazy to me how you see these people riding motorcycles with short sleeves. I know when we were in Florida, we also saw, they don't have helmet laws in Florida, and you see guys like riding motorcycles with no helmet, which is just the craziest thing to me. One of my boyfriend's best friends actually was killed in a motorcycle accident. So I don't know, I feel like when it hits close to home like that, and you see other people riding, you know, with no helmet and no protective gear, like sleeves, bare minimum, it's just scary. The helmet thing was like really crazy. I'm uploading right now my video. I reacted to Tati's video about her return to YouTube. So that should be up very soon. It's just so funny how you can go from watching all of this beauty guru stuff, you know, and consuming it, and then just very quickly growing to not care at all about what any of these people are doing. And I do feel like that's kind of what happened with, you know, the last year with Tati and stuff, and Tati and Jeffrey. And it's just like, I know some of you guys were commenting about Peter Mon, you know, because I said in one of my videos how I adore Peter, but I don't really watch his drama channel content because he's talking about the same 5 people all the time. Trisha, Gabby, James, Jeffrey, Tati, and James Charles. Throw in James in the mix there. So it's like the same, call it 6 people. It's so boring. It's so redundant. It's constantly, and Jaclyn Hill. So call it whatever, 7, 6, 7, 8, whatever. But it's the same people doing the same nonsense all the time. And the constant wanting people to do better. We know that they're not going to do better. We know that they're going to repeat their stupid behaviors. So it's just completely redundant and useless to me. So tomorrow is Father's Day, so I'm going to go spend some time with my dad. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be nice too, because it's the first time that we've seen each other in the last year, since obviously we're both fully vaccinated and just able to, you know, I saw him a few times during the panini because, you know, I wanted to make sure that he had things that he needed, and since he is obviously much older than me, you know, when I would go to Target for us, I would try to get him stuff that he needed too, and then he would just come to my house, and he wouldn't even come inside. I would just put my mask on, run outside, you know, give him whatever I had. Sometimes I would like cook for him, you know, give him just some, you know, food or whatever it is that I was cooking, and then some essentials, and I would just give it to him, and we would talk for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then he would go. It was tough, you know, because I really love seeing my dad, and I love when he comes over and he gets to, you know, hang out with Axel or whatever. And so it will be very nice to see him and not have to worry about, you know, our time being limited or whatever. So I'm excited about that. I always say with my dad, you know, on Mother's Day, I always send him I talk to my dad basically every day anyway, but on Mother's Day, I always send him a, you know, a Happy Mother's Day message too. I mean, to some people that might be weird, but my dad was someone who, he had to play the role of mom and dad a lot of times. You know, obviously he was always dad, but there were many times where, you know, he had to fill both roles. He did it with grace, and he did it with, you know, the best of his ability. And so I always send him a little note. It's kind of like, in a way, it's like jokingly, but it does have meaning, and he definitely filled both roles a lot of times in my life. So I ordered a couple of pairs of jeans from sellers on Poshmark. I've had some luck with Poshmark, but I've also had some that like didn't fit me and stuff. So I have 2 pairs of jeans that I got from Poshmark, and I don't really want to resell them. I would feel much better taking them to the shelter. So I think I'm going to clean out my closet this week and then do another trip to the homeless shelter. Before I take the stuff to the shelter, I'm going to look and see if there is a women's shelter in my area. There has to be somewhere around here. It's not like I live in the middle of nowhere, so there has to be one somewhere. I think that taking it to a women's shelter might be a better idea, since it'll only be my stuff. My boyfriend already went through all of his stuff not long ago. I showed that in a video where I dropped stuff off, and that was kind of a mix of everything. But this time, since it's only going to be my stuff, I might try to find a women's shelter. Even if it's a little bit out of the way, I can go over there like one evening, or even go like next weekend. You guys know that chick, what's her YouTube name? Samage or whatever, Sam. It's like SAMAAAGE or something. You guys know I unsubscribed from a ton of beauty channels. I no longer subscribe to her either, but she's actually like, successful on YouTube, and she lives in the DC area too. I didn't know that until after some time had passed, but yeah, she's in the DC area. All right, guys, so I'm going to make my way over to get my hair cut, and I will check in with you as soon as I'm done. All right, guys, I'm back. Oh, and I got myself a new Orbe lip balm. Their body stuff is not fantastic, I'll be totally honest, as I always am. But I do really like their lip balm. So it's just a normal lip balm. It comes with this pretty gold cap. And it doesn't really have like a strong flavor or anything, at least that I can tell. Last time my hair was entirely too short, so that's what I really wanted to avoid this time, for sure. You guys will know what I mean when I say that when you have short hair, there's this, happy medium between short hair that is good versus short hair that is too short. I remember when I bought the Orbe lip balm initially, I think something happened to mine in shipping, because I ordered it, it was summertime, and it freaking had like little bumps in it. I'm pretty sure that what happened was when it was exposed to heat, it was compromised. So my first one, I liked it, but I do feel like I was kind of working with a faulty product, if that makes sense. So at least now I know that my product is not, wasn't melted and reformed. You have to be like really careful with stuff like that. So you guys were sending me DMs because One of the big problems that I had with Creepshow Art was the fact that she, gave her platform to that guy NBurd, and they came out with that video on Dad Challenge podcast that was so clear that it was poorly researched, if researched at all. And I voiced my issues, with it. And, it's funny because Camilla and Creepshow kind of doubled down when they were confronted with, why would you put out a poorly researched video? Instead of saying, I'm wrong, it was a poorly researched video, and, whatever, let's try to remedy and move on. Up until now, Camilla has not admitted that it was wrong for them to kind of try to tag team Dad Challenge podcast. So Camilla, zero responsibility, no accountability, surprise, surprise. However, that guy NBurd came out with a video and apologized to Josh.
For those of you who may or may not know, I did a video on Shannon's channel while she was away. And it was poorly researched, poorly made, ill-informed, and ultimately I made a call-out video on someone who was trying to do good with their YouTube platform. So to the Dad Challenge podcast, I am sorry. I saw your DM and I wanted to message you back, but I didn't know what to say. I still don't know what to say, and I know it's way too late to make this apology, and you don't have to accept it at all. But I do want you to know that I feel bad about that video. I should have gotten it deleted sooner. And going forward, I'm not going to put out anything unless I fully stand behind it 100%, which I didn't with that video.
Which I think it takes a lot to apologize to someone publicly. And so kudos to NBurd. I saw Josh in the comments, and, he said that he accepted the apology, and, that's great. But, props to him for being able to recognize that he played a role in delivering a poorly researched video that came off very much just ignorant and foolish to YouTube and people that watched it. So either way, he has apologized and kind of owned up to his part in that. And I know I've talked a lot about my feelings around that video, so I did want to acknowledge in this video right now that he did come out and, per se, right his wrong. I hate how I'm like touching my hair so much, but I always do that when I get it cut. I love having short hair. I remember the first time that I kind of did the big chop on my hair, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it short or not. And the first time that I chopped it, it was kind of like right above my collarbone. And, it was so crazy because my hair had been longer for such a long time. Having short hair is just so easy. It's so simple to style. You really don't have to do a whole lot to make it look put together. Now, I will say, finding someone that can cut short hair properly is a whole different sort of task. But once you find someone who knows how to handle your hair and cut, your texture of hair and all of that, then you're good to go. I actually need to go over to Target and get my dad a Father's Day card. Actually, I could probably do that tomorrow on the way to his house. I don't know what to have for dinner. I should probably eat a top ramen since I got my hair cut. It is pretty interesting to me how NBurd went ahead and made that video admitting. That's the one thing, and I think that's why I'm giving him so much credit, because on YouTube we see so many times where accountability is so hard for a lot of these people to just come out and say what you did was wrong. Just say you were wrong. Say that you recognize what you did was wrong, and let's move forward. Lack of accountability is such a common, gripe when it comes to people being upset with their favorite creators. And, I would love to see YouTubers once in a while just say that you were wrong. Just say you were wrong. Apologize, and, don't say, I'm sorry, but, or whatever. Just say I'm sorry and keep it moving. It's impossible for some of these people to do. When I was at the salon, I used the Orbe fragrance. I sprayed it. I've been dead set. Like, once I saw that they had a fragrance, I was so excited because I thought, finally, a fragrance that smells like my favorite hair care. But the fragrance does not smell like the Orbe hair care. It's so aggravating, because that would be awesome if it actually did. I would probably buy 12 bottles of it, but it definitely does not smell like the hair care. So anyway, guys, I think I am going to close this video out here. I don't know how long this is going to end up being. Hopefully it's a decent amount of time for you guys, but I'm gonna get some other videos filmed this evening, go hang out with my dad tomorrow, and hang out with him for a little while for Father's Day and enjoy the day. So either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.